Aetius and his suite take a quick galley to go up the Rhone. The travelers settle down around a table in a tent at the back of the boat. It is quite cold. The sky is grey and it rains from time to time. They are given the hot drinks and games. People become more cheerful. Aetius begins a game of 12-line games with Litorius. Mark addresses Salvian. You who frequent the imperial palace. Astonished, Salvian looks at him. Mark rectifies. I never went there while you lived for a long time in Ravenna. You are charged by the regent of a mission. Salvian denies. I never talked to her. Then he adds with pride, but I have been under the orders of her husband Constans. Mark is agitating. It is said that Galla Placidia is a beautiful woman, often passionate and contradictory. Let us remember that Constantius was the victor of the King Goth's Atholf, his first husband. Now she would sigh after Count Bonifacius, who had almost killed the same Atholf while defending Marseille against the Goths. Salvian makes an astonished look, but Bonifacius is in Africa. Aetius raises his head from the game board. I have been informed that Bonifacius is negotiating with the king of the Vandals, who have settled in Spain. The conversation about women continues. Posthume smiles and looks at Mark and Salvian. I have heard that the Huns are very hospitable, and go so far as to give young women travelers, especially in winter, that they may relieve them by their warmth. Everybody laughs. Aggravated, Salvian replied in an unhappy voice, I was not frozen in Hunland and they did not offer me. They do not have prostitutes like us. Mark says, that would be contrary to the laws of Modin Khan who severely punish adultery. It is true that it is said that there are tribes in northern Siberia who do not speak and practice this custom. But I'm not sure. Salvian adds, all serious crimes, including brandishing a weapon without orders from the chiefs, are punishable by the Huns with death penalty. The theft is punishable by the confiscation of all property and the loss of all rights. In the case of less serious offenses, they incite deeply, with iron blades, the cheeks of the criminals. The trial never lasts more than 10 days. Astonished, Litorius stops for a moment to play and exclaims, I thought that the incisions on the cheeks of certain Huns mercenaries were signs of their warlike virtues. I took them for my best soldiers. Aetius laughs. These incisions are made in a special way with the use of signs of the old writing so as not to confuse them with the wound scars. He then adds, of course. The non-respect of the military discipline as well as the desertion in case of mobilization are also liable to capital punishment. These extraordinary laws of modern Khan certainly contributed greatly to the consolidation of the Huns and the transformation of their union into a powerful empire. Again, Posthume talks about women. It is said that Attila likes only Kirka and that his other women enjoy a great freedom. Mark explains, it is for political reasons that he must still have some concubines. Daughters of chiefs of the vassal or allied peoples. Posthume notes, the Emperor Commodus had 300 concubines, yet he was the son of the Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the great philosopher who preached Stoicism. Aetius recalls, Faustina, the mother of Commodus, was too emotional a woman. Once she confessed to her husband that she was in love with a gladiator. Marcus Aurelius then consulted the Chaldean Magi. On their recommendation, this gladiator was killed and Faustina had to wash with blood in order to heal herself of her passion. But this did not prevent him from having other gladiators and sailors. Disgusted, Posthume makes a grimace. Wash with blood. It's terrible. What Roman women do use to wash and for their makeup. It goes all the way to crocodile excrement. On the other hand, the barbarians rarely wash and are therefore rather dirty. Salvian laughs. The Huns do not wash with the blood and do not rub themselves with the excrements. They do not support the bad odors. Those who do not belong to the nobility wash their body quite rarely, but they always have their own faces. Aetius remarks, the Romans, too, seldom washed. The first baths were created 5 centuries after the foundation of Rome. We were then accustomed to going to the baths once every 8 days. After the conquest of Greece and the Orient, perfumes and cosmetics arrived, so many felt the need to go to the baths every day. The construction by the emperors of splendid baths reinforced these habits. Today, the Romans think that it was like this always. A melancholy darkens the look of posture. That is why we now have so few robust and valiant soldiers who are not softened by the life of the towns, who are not afraid of difficulties and who do not cry at the slightest wound. When the Emperor Julian, 60 years ago, made efforts to re-establish the traditional Roman manners, he began by the dismissal of 10,000 palace barbers. He published a letter in which he boasted that he seldom washed. He was especially proud of his beard, bushy and inhabited, who did not know the razor. In regards to suddenly aggressive, Aetius interrupts him half-sentence, Julian was an incorrigible pagan like you. For a few moments everyone is silent. Then an officer, in order to relax the atmosphere and satisfy his curiosity, asks, it is said that, as a protection, the Hun women flatten the noses of the newborn with their fingers so that when the boys become warriors their noses do not come out much under their helmets. That's why the Huns have noses smaller than us. He was silent when he saw the irony in the eyes of Aetius, Mark and Salvian.